So this is a given, this is something everyone knows and acknowledges. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ, there are those, مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ, those who spend money, those who give from their wealth in order to buy amusement of speech or idle talk. In other words, again, this is what the music industry is predicated on today. Without your money, without the money being spent, whether it be at the record store, the music store, or online, which is something that's increasingly the music industry transitioning into, without those billions upon billions of dollars that are paid by the average consumer, buying either entire albums or individual songs, without the money being spent to buy tickets to go to concerts, without all of these things, the music industry could not survive. Musicians would not be able to make a living. And so it is because of the money, and this is a critical point that's being mentioned here in this verse. God doesn't only talk about the harmful nature of songs and music and so forth. He talks about the machinery that creates this industry. He talks about the cogs that allow this sophisticated piece of equipment to function. He talks about the money that fuels it all. And this is a very, very critical point that's made in this verse. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي. Without the consumers, without the buyers, without the concert goers, without the people fueling this, it wouldn't exist. And so this is a very critical conversation that we need to have. And inshallah, in the next 25 minutes or so, the next half an hour, the remainder of this program, inshallah, as we join you from Ahlul Bayt TV studios, live from London, we will be discussing this ailment and this sickness and this disease, that of music and the music industry. Inshallah, we'll take a very quick break. Do join me again in just a few minutes as we discuss this critical and very important and essential topic. Thank you. See you soon in a few minutes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Once again, brothers and sisters, it's good to be back with you discussing Surat Luqman, as we said earlier, this chapter 31 in the Holy Quran. We were talking about music and its effects. Because in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about those who spend money in order to buy idle talk or amusing talk, which has been interpreted as being songs. And God then goes on to promise torment and punishment for these individuals. And that makes it a very, very serious subject indeed. One thing that we need to start off with, I think, before we discuss the effect of music, is that our ears are an incredibly, tremendously important sensory organ, which means that it is a way to impact us, to influence our minds and our souls, that is very, very important, to say the very least. Have you noticed how sometimes one word that someone says to you that's flattering, that's, a word of praise perhaps, a word that expresses one's love and affection, immediately makes you blush? In other words, one word that's being picked up by your ears and interpreted and processed by your brain has an immediate, instantaneous physiological impact. You immediately see the effects of that, where your cheeks turn rosy. One word. Conversely, one word, an insult perhaps, a profanity, a vulgar expression of hatred immediately translates into a physiological phenomenon where you turn red with anger. One word. So, in short, our ears are very, very sensitive. And the things that are processed by our ears and our brains through the ears will have an immediate impact on our bodies and therefore on our brains and our souls. And that, in a nutshell, is what makes music so detrimental, so dangerous, so unhealthy for us. As I said, studies